All right, so I am so excited right now because I filmed and posted a YouTube video in one day. It took me probably 5 hours, which is a good chunk of time. Maybe even 6 hours after posting it, doing the thumbnail, filming it, all the other stuff. And I did some research this morning, but I'm just very, very, very excited because I got it done. And for years, I've had this concept of, I would like to start doing YouTube. Oh, wow. I used to watch Casey Neistat all the time, and it was so exciting to get to see his life and just kind of keep up with him and feel like I was friends with him in that way, which sounds kind of lame, but, probably a lot of people relate to. YouTube, I think, for a lot of people, is very interesting, is very exciting, and probably overwhelming. And I think that's why I would assume that most people under 23, maybe 24, have thought at some point, I should start doing YouTube. What if I started doing YouTube and made videos about this thing that I like? What is it that makes us not? For years, I have had the idea, I should do YouTube. I could talk about photography. I could talk about money stuff. I could talk about what it's like to serve a lot at my church and work on lights or just on the production team in general. And here I am, probably 3, 4, 5 years after I've had some of those ideas, and I'm finally recording a video. This is my second one today, and it's more just for repeatability's sake and to feel like I'm doing it again. It just wasn't just a one-time thing. I'd like it to become a habit, but I think so much of the time, especially as an Enneagram 3, shout out to my other Enneagram 3s, I can have an idea about something and feel like I want to take this to its max. Especially with photography, I don't want to just be good. I don't want to just do really well in my local market, and be well known or whatever. I want to be the best, one day. There's this photographer named Jose Villa, and in my mind, he's the best. And not that I want to beat him, but I would like to be at that level where, I and maybe somebody else thinks, wow, he's the best, and not necessarily because I need praise or other people to approve of me, but why am I going to do something and not try to max it out? You're not going to buy a Corvette and only take it the exact speed limit. That's not the point of it, or a Ferrari, if you're more epic crazy. Corvettes are pretty cool too. While we're in this quarantine time due to coronavirus, just kind of wanted to start something new. This is an unprecedented time, especially in the wake of, obviously my main job is I'm a wedding photographer. I had a couple things booked for April, a couple things booked for May, and I don't know if they're going to happen. Definitely not the things for April. And, just a couple weeks ago, I booked some little elopements of people who were going to get married in March or April, but with a bigger wedding, who had to change their plans and do a small elopement now because of the gathering size of, can't have a gathering bigger than 10 people. And now, due to Florida's stay-at-home order, weddings aren't an essential activity. So essentially, I can't go work, which makes sense. And I understand the whole, we got to keep people safe and we're all in this together kind of thing. I'm adhering to that. I'm staying home. But I just can't go, I can't go work. So especially through this time where I'm feeling the weight of that my job sometimes can't be done, I'd like to wind up diversifying not only just my income to be from multiple streams, multiple places, but also where I spend my time, where I spend my energy and my creative manpower, so to speak. Especially photography, until you get really good and really big and have lucked into doing a couple or a bunch of really cool jobs across the country or across the world, it's really hard to delocalize your brand, in my opinion. And in my experience of having tried to for a little bit, it hasn't been my main focus, but, I've definitely put some effort into it. And I've gotten to photograph a wedding in Mexico and New York and St. Augustine and Charleston and a couple places in Alabama and Georgia. I've gotten to go around and do these travel destination weddings, and it's still hard to pivot your brand where it's not highly localized to one place. What if Madison and I decide we want to move someday and would like to go to another city or just another market in general where, I don't already have name credibility. I'd like to have some sort of outlet, some sort of thing to do besides wedding photography while I'm waiting for it to pick up there. And obviously I can go ahead and if we were to ever move somewhere, I could put ads there ahead of time. I could, travel there a few times and book a couple portfolio sessions. But there's nothing like actually living in a place to get your brand solidified there, if that makes any sense. Maybe this is kind of rambly, I guess. I'm just kind of thinking out loud, and I don't think I'm going to make too many cuts in this video because I think it's important. But hopefully this isn't too long so far. Really what I just want to say and to encourage you in is that, especially in these unprecedented times where people have more free time than ever in general, and there's so much content out there on how to do something well. Maybe you think, maybe it's YouTube specifically, maybe you think, oh, it's already saturated. There is so much content out there, and sure there is, but there's an equal amount of so much content teaching you how to do it well. The difference between somebody who can start and fail something and start and succeed at something is how long they're willing to try. Because I honestly believe in today's day and age, there's so many educational resources out there that I think anybody can be successful at anything if they're just willing to put in the effort to learn about it, and if they have the staying power and the commitment to, just stick it out when times are tough. There's a billion photographers out there. What's the difference between a good and a great one when somebody who's not killing it in every aspect can take as pretty photos as somebody who's making, $400,000 a year doing it? I think it's just staying power. So many people will post and be like, oh, I'm doing photos now, photo sessions, portraits, whatever. They'll start a whole Instagram page and, a Facebook page. They'll post on it 5, 6, 7 times, and nothing ever happens with it. And it's because they got discouraged when it wasn't easy. They gave up. And I totally understand that impulse, but you just got to push through it. So what are you not doing that you have had the idea to do that now maybe you have an obscene amount of time to do, or at least more time than you'll ever have again, maybe? Go ahead and put down some of those building blocks. Go ahead and lay a foundation before you're back to the routine and you have all these reasonable excuses like, I'm tired from my main job, I have so much homework from school. Right now, it's not like that, and I think everybody that is home in quarantine and stuff just needs to go for it. Whatever their heart or their mind has had as an idea, why not start? Do it bad. I'm very lucky that I have a nice camera and a nice lens and this nice microphone that's technically Madison's and a computer where I can do stuff and it's slightly faster than, a laptop or whatever. But you know what? Do it bad. If you are letting quality be the thing that holds you back from actually trying and actually starting on this new concept, this new idea, then that's a stupid reason. And that's a little blunt, but maybe you should earn getting those nice things. You can record on your iPhone. Editing, Zach here. I just want to clarify that more what I mean is before you make those investments, I have this conversation a lot with people. Zach, I want to start doing whatever, so I need to buy this, and this before I can start. And I just want to encourage you to use what you do have and prove the concept first before you start investing heavily into a new idea. Especially something like YouTube where you can film on your phone and it looks half decent and the audio is pretty good. Before you go out and buy a nice camera and lighting and a microphone or whatever, just go ahead and do it and, grind it out with what you have. And then you can earn the upgrade either once you're making a little bit of money or once you have some money from a main job, if this is your side hustle, and can afford to invest into improving those various aspects. So back to the video. You can, edit on a laptop. You can edit on your phone. iMovie's like $5 or free. I can't remember. Who knows? Everything is so good now. it's insane. Like, somebody just the other day messaged me and said, "Hey Zach, I'm looking to get started doing portraits. What kind of camera do you recommend?" And I literally just told him, I was like, buy anything. Like, everything is so good now that you will not be disappointed. Sidebar, I think a lot of people still think megapixels is the move. It's not. Doesn't really matter. My camera is 18 megapixels, and I think I take pretty photos. So I use the Canon 6D, if you were wondering. All that to say, don't let excuses be what stops you from starting. You know, maybe give yourself room to let them delay you. I don't want excuses to rule you, but if you can't think of what to post, that's reasonable. You know, that's fair. What are you going to film? What are you going to talk about? Well, what gets you excited? My video right before this that I recorded earlier today is about our debt-free journey and just using the Dave Ramsey baby steps to get out of debt, and, you know, just our personal finance and stuff like that. That makes me really excited, and I've found that I really love to educate people on that. I've spent hundreds of hours listening to the Dave Ramsey podcast, and I feel like I could answer a lot of questions his way. It just gets me excited to talk about. And so that's what I decided to talk about. So what are you excited about? And then also keep a notes app, you know, with concepts. For maybe the past 3-4 days, every time I had an idea, oh, this would be a cool video, I just wrote it in a note. And at some point, you know, if I don't have another idea, or if I'm just like, today I'm going to film another video, I'll go to that note app and see what seems the most accessible that day. So, in summary, I guess, I'm very excited for myself to have done the thing and not let excuses rule me, and not to say, oh, I know the best way to do this, but I don't have XYZ thing. I don't have external lighting or anything like that. But let me do it anyway. You know, maybe somebody else could do it better, but who cares? Because you know what they can't do? They can't be you. And that's something my brother's been saying a lot lately. He's really cool. He's been doing videos too. This isn't an ad or anything for him, but he's the one who most recently to me said, he's doing videos because there's no other Charlie doing videos. That's epic, you know? Kill it. I'm so happy for him. And he's chasing, or at least, and he's pursuing something that he wants to do and that makes him excited and happy. So just tackle it. And let me know, if you made it this far, what you're going to start doing, or what idea you've had that maybe you're telling yourself why you can't do it, or why now is not a good time. And, you know, maybe I could even help some of you get past it. Like, if it's YouTube, you know, I've spent a couple hours researching, like, how to do video lighting and, you know, how to make audio as good as possible with what you have. Maybe I could give you a tip or two. Obviously, I'm new to it, but I know cameras really well. You know, if it's wedding photography and you're looking to get into that, hit me up. I will gladly talk to you. You know, maybe just send me a Starbucks card or whatever, but I would love to help anybody get started with anything, any way that I can. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and thank you for watching, and I hope to be seeing you again in more videos. Dinosaur logo.